G'day everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Saturday the 20th of December. So this set here, as always, timecodes will be in the description for you if you're just looking to do one of these or you want to skip. The Golden Vendor will be at the end of the video too, so there'll be timestamps for that. This set here is pretty good, definitely much better than yesterday's. Anything here is viable, but I'd probably go with killing foes, Humanoid Daedra and Conservatory Furnishings. I personally like to do these separately. I know it seems counterintuitive, but you can just kill a bunch of critters quickly, go to a dungeon, kill a bunch of Daedra, and not have to worry about weapon skills. Obviously, if you're a stamina build, it's probably fine just to use something like Whirlwind, because the important thing about weapon skills is you have to, finish off. So the last hit must be from a weapon ability. I'm pretty sure it cannot be from a light attack either, or heavy attack. It must be from the skill itself. So there are two ways to do this. I will start with these two, and then I'll do Conservatory Furnishings, and then I'll focus on these two. Also be aware, once you've set up this one here and this one here, you can do these. I would do these at the end, like do a couple of these and then choose to do these ones at the end, because this one, when you're out here doing these, you can just travel straight to your house afterwards. And then from your house, you can travel straight to Cyrodiil, and same thing, you can just travel to Cyrodiil whenever you're ready. Like, you don't have to go to a way shrine for this or this one. You can just, you can be out in the middle of a public dungeon or whatever and just travel straight there. That's the convenience of these ones here. So that's why I would suggest you do these last. But these two are fantastic options. Alright, killing foes weapon skills. There's the one at a time really easy way, and then there's the, if you've got the skills for it, the fast way using like Humanoid Daedra or Daedra in a public dungeon where there's just like big loads of them. Or you can do them separately, 10 foes for weapon skills on like a big group, and then kill some Humanoid Daedra on the side. So this one here, this is a area with some critters, and if you hit the critters with a weapon skill, each one, it's just, they all have 1 HP. So just hitting each one with a single ability just gets this one done really, really easily. So this is Monkey's Rest, just northwest of Oridon in Vocal Guard. It's easy to get here because this way shrine is unlocked by default, so you just travel northwest, come up here, unlock this, and you've got easy access. There is also a bunch of spider critters up here. There's some hostile ones too, but it's just the spider critters I mainly go for. So Davon's Fine Steeds just east here. The way shrine's unlocked by default, so it's very easy to get there too. Elika Desert is also a good option to look at, with Goat's Head Oasis over here. The only thing is, getting here, it's a bit more of a trek because you have to use home tours. I've got a video in the description showing you how home tours works. It's basically just like having a bunch of extra way shrines unlocked as soon as you start the game. It's really handy to use. So yeah, there's lots of goats here that you can do the same thing with. So they all only have 1 HP. So anything can work. So as soon as you kill something with a weapon, you should unlock the skill line and then get a bit of XP on it, like only a teeny weeny bit. Like, kill one enemy, basically you'll unlock the first skill in a skill line, like Flurry here, for example. You could just use that over and over on all the critters here. Regardless of how powerful you are, it will just do it straight away. Now, the killing lots of enemies way, you can either... So, what I would do, my personal choice for Daedra is to go to Imperial City Prison, but I like to kill them separately. So, what I'm going to do is go to Stormhaven and go Wayrest Sewers 1 first, and kill the Skeevers in here, because they're much weaker than the Daedra are to deal with, and I'd rather just use my my conventional skills for that. So in here, I just come in. Am I lagging? Yes, I am. Okay, so just pull this group here, pull this group here as well. Now you can use a bunch of AoE weapon skills together, but here I'm just going to use one skill. Keep running back, and then spin around to get more damage. You can spin in a circle, that's probably better, but just be very careful not to pull the fucking crocodiles, because they have a lot of health. Those things take ages to kill. So you can just kill this group here, do the same thing with this group over here. There's lots of Skeevers, they all have very low amounts of HP, so just using something like Whirlwind would absolutely annihilate those things. So getting to Wayrest Sewers 1, if you don't have the way shrine over here, or if you haven't been here before, you can travel here via a way shrine as soon as it's unlocked. Just use Garden House, though, through home tours to get here for the first time if you haven't been before. It's literally just right around the corner. Just go up the stairs here, over here. You can either jump down here or go over the bridge down here, and there's a drop down here that you can travel through. And when you exit, it'll take you back out to where you came in from. So in this case, I was in Oridon, so it takes me straight back. Now, as for areas in Overland that are easy to reach with a bunch of Humanoid Daedra, there are fucking heaps of these places. So Cold Harbor, if you just travel here via Cold Harbor Cyrodiil Estate, just travel around the place and you'll probably find 5 Humanoid Daedra in a matter of minutes. This area has a lot of them. This area has a lot of them. There's, you've got the public dungeon here. There's fucking shit tons of them here. I think these are soul-shriven. I don't think they're Daedra. Yeah, you get some in here, some up here. I think the Cave of Trophies has shit tons of Humanoid Daedra too. Like, basic Cold Harbor is just Humanoid Daedra all over the fucking place. There's also some other places. Public Dungeon in Shadowrend, Sanguine's Domain. This place has lots of Humanoid Daedra. You can use the Home Ample Domicile to get here with home tools very quickly if you haven't been to Shadowrend before. Dolmen's also a good option, though can sometimes be unreliable, because you could get things that just aren't Humanoid Daedra for a while before you get anything. Though that being said, if you're trying to do the Golden Pursuits at the moment, there is one for 15 treasure chests, and one of the ways to do this is doing dolmens to loot chests each time. It's really easy to use. You don't have to worry about other players stealing the chests or anything, and you'll probably get your Humanoid Daedra trying to do that. But my personal choice here is Imperial City Prison. The reason for this is you don't have to worry about other players killing the Daedra when you want to go there. You just jump straight in here. You can jump straight out back to a way shrine, just like you can with Wayresource 1, so it's just easy and convenient to use. And literally as soon as you get in, there is just a group of 4 Daedra here, 4 Humanoid Daedra, and then there's Humanoid Daedra on the sides here too. So what I'm just going to do quickly is swap over this skill. I'm just going to run in and fucking blast them to smithereens. Yeah, you can just use your weapon skills to finish them off, but I just find it too much of a pain, especially on a Magica build. Be careful of the AoEs that they produce on the floor. They can be quite nasty. And that's it. So Humanoid Daedra done. Just make our way over here and out the door, and we're straight back to Auradon as well. But there you go. So from here, really easy to keep doing everything else. What I'm going to do first is to show you the Enchanting one, but because you'll need to use resources up for this, you don't need to use resources for the Conservatory Furnishing one. And the damage to structures in Cyrodiil, that is way easier to do, like to get the items for, and way cheaper, usually. But yeah, I'll just stick with this one first. So, crafting with Enchanting, you need to craft glyphs, and you need 3 things. You need the sort of brown-orange aspect runes, you need the green triangle essence runes, you need the blue square potency runes. Potency runes are the easiest to get your hands on. Just talk to any enchanter in the game, like Glamran over here. They sell all the blue runes in the game. The only ones you need to look at all will be Jode and Jorah here. These are the cheapest. They're usable at level 1. You'll always have access to these. As for the other 2, it's more up in the air. You can get these through guild stores, or you can get these through runestones out in the environment. So I'll show you each of those now. The good thing about enchanting crafting, unlike alchemy, is alchemy, you've got the inert versus the unknown poisons or potions, whereas with enchanting there is no incorrect combination. Everything works together. It'll just produce something different, but they all work. So materials is what you're looking for into enchanting, and you can either go everything or you can check specific ones. So there's nothing there. What about here? Is there anything? Okay, so Jojota is the only one I would purchase myself. The reason for this is they are way cheaper than the other options. Tar, I know it's more expensive than the green ones. That is because these are used in writs. Green is not used in writs at all. So green is actually the cheapest one that you can get, and you can still use it at level 1. So Jojota is the only one I would consider using. And these are usually, like, you will probably have to look around a little bit to find them, but these are in such high quantities, like low demand, high numbers, so you just find these all over the place. You just got to look around a bit. The green ones are the ones that are going to be a little more just based on what you can find, but there are a shit ton of options here. Yeah, if you go through Scarwich, just be prepared to get fucking pelted with shit balls. Okay, so yeah, no Jojota here. If I look at these, so the only two you don't want to buy, well, only three really, Oko, Indeko, and Hakejo. These are the three I would avoid because they are way more expensive than any other option. Oko is used in Writs, and yeah, for some reason they're just like the one that's, I guess, used the most in Writs, so they're more expensive. If you just keep going through, you've got 12 macro here for 16 gold each. That's a pretty good deal. Go through here, check this one. Yeah. It's a bit expensive for macro, to be honest. Nothing there. So there will always be 5 guild stores at least in a single zone. Yeah, there you go. 98 Okoma for 9 gold each. That's a really good deal. That will last you like 50... Oh no, sorry, like probably 25 times of this endeavor. So spending 1,000 gold to get essentially 150, 300 seals of endeavor, that's a pretty fucking good deal, I think. Considering that it only takes a few minutes. Or not even, like a minute to do that. Alright, see if I can get away without getting pelted. Nope, I missed. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this is a runestone. These are what you're looking for when you're out looking for some runes to use yourself. So we got Tar and Oko for that one, which we can use from level 1. I got a Jihade though. So if you do this on a character that can't, like, some of the items that you get from out here is based on your character's level. So yeah, this Jihade I wouldn't actually be able to use. So that's the only reason I suggest getting the blue ones from enchanters, because you always have what you need from them, whereas you might not from these runestones. Yeah, so we got an Oko. You could probably sell this one, go look for some, or like buy a couple from that. Yeah, I wouldn't really bother with that. They're very easy to spot because of the orange tint that they leave on the ground. Yeah, so we got another one that we can't craft with for the blue one. So yeah, we got some here. Now, sometimes the aspect rune will also be one you can't use. So yeah, you'll probably... There's a good chance you'll need like 5 or 6 before you can actually get enough stuff for this. But yeah, you can just easily get your essence runes that way, because all the essence runes there are probably fair game. Maybe the Oko ones try and hold on to, because they're more expensive, but yeah. There's nothing else really you need to worry about there, so just whatever you can get your hands on there that you can use, just put them together and they will work, trust me. Just, again, avoid Hakejos, avoid Indekos, and avoid Okos if you can. If you're willing to wait a little bit longer to get some runestones. I'll just pause the thing, or like, just stop here and let you have a look at this map. This is all the runestones in Craglorn, if you want to take a look. Now, it would probably be okay to check these, because you also do get mundane runes. These are housing, like, furnishing materials, and these things are surprisingly expensive. More expensive than Oko. And you will probably get, it's probably like a 20%, 10% chance each time to get one. So yeah, be on the lookout for these too. They are very valuable. So just put these together, go Oko. So I just bought a full stack of like a cheap one. Probably go Oru if you can. They tend to be the one that is like the most cheap usually. And then yeah, I'll just go Jode. So I'll just go 4 of those and that'll be it. Now do keep in mind, if you have an enchanting table in your home, I would advise you use it right now for this, because you'll get 2 things done in the Golden Pursuit. You'll get crafting with any skill, and yeah, craft. So yeah, you've got the craft 10 with any skill, craft 25 items inside your home as well. So if you have an enchanting table to use in your home right now, I do suggest using it for that. So that's 2 really easy options for that reason. Okay, Conservatory Furnishings. Let me show you an easy way to do this. You just need 100 gold and access to a house, which you can get for free. So firstly, the furnishing. Rosica here, home goods finisher in Daggerfall in Glenumbra. This way, Shana, not better fault, so easy to get here as well. Just have a chat to her, and you'll find some Conservatory Furnishings all over the place here. All the like garden stuff essentially will be Conservatory Furnishing. So the one I would go with, probably not that one. It's like one of these, either this shrub, this one's quite small, that one as well. Just because these are smaller than some of the other furnishings. Like a rock like this, you'd probably have a bit of issues putting this in like the free homes that you get, the tiny ones. So yeah, just go something more along the lines of like small rocks, or yeah, like a Yeah, something like this, like a shrub. I'd probably go, yeah, probably that one or this one myself. And as for a house, you just come over here, talk to Philan Demarie, and you'll just complete a quest doing this. You'll complete the quest just by just talking to her. You'll get a house that shows up here, and the houses that you get will depend on your alliance. If you do this in all 3 different alliances, you'll get 3, and they're all useful to have because it's like having a way shrine for like a couple of areas that are easy to use to get around. So Rosy Line, Ebony Flask, Mara's Kiss. So you'll find them in the houses tab in the map section. So all you do now is just click on one of these, and then when you find it on the map, where's the... Oh yeah, sorry, I don't have it. It's Autumn's Gate. Yeah. So as an example here, I'll just put houses on the map. You travel inside, and yeah, you can just travel straight to it. Doesn't cost you anything, so yeah. Alright, so with furnishings in this game, for it to work, or for it to count for the placing endeavors, it must come from your inventory and be placed on the ground, or you can use another way, which is really easy. So what I'm going to do is just going to grab this here to prove my point with. So if I grab this in Conservatory here, just grab it, just put it on the ground, it will work for that, but if you just pick it up and do, like, just spam place it, nothing happens. So you must put it in your inventory, and then go to your inventory again and just do the same thing. Or, if you go back to your housing menu, at the bottom left, you'll see it says undo. You hit that key, and it actually works as well. So that's another way. So what you can do is, now I can just set this to be back over here. And if you end up getting just a small house, you can just have all your furnishings of each type set up just in like a small area. And whenever this endeavor comes up, just go to the house, find it, put it away, undo, redo, undo, and that will complete the endeavor for you. So now you can just have them all. Like what I've got in here is I've just got all the different types of endeavors just set up in this spot here. And then all I do is I just pick them up, put them away, undo, redo, undo, and then that's it. So it's easy to get this endeavor done that way too. And yeah, another good thing about having small homes with a courtyard like this is Conservatory Furnishings are probably one of the most common ones in a house. Like there's 26 in this area here alone. So yeah, it's really easy to use this option. If I were to buy a small house, I wouldn't go any higher than like something like Autumn's Gate. I also like Cyrodiil Jungle House in Malabal Tor. Blackvine Villa is also quite nice. I'm pretty sure this is the other small one, isn't it? Houses, stable homes. Yeah, Blackvine Villa. This one's good too. Any of these here, like you look at they've got like if they've got a little front yard like this, they have Conservatory Furnishings. So I don't think Captain Margot's is good, nor is Barbed Hook. But yeah, any of the ones with like the little courtyard's great. Alright, last one. So repairing structures at Cyrodiil. You're going to be spending 90% of the time here looking for a structure, and then 10% of the time actually repairing it. So there are 4 campaigns. What you want to do is check the campaign where your faction is doing good. Most of the time that will be Greyhost. If not, just check the other ones. Maybe your faction has taken up the whole map. We'll see. So I'm Daggerfall Covenant here. So if everything's blue, it's good. If everything's red or yellow, then it's yeah, probably want to swap over to a different one. We got one keep. Let's have a look. So firstly, you want to go grab some repair kits. Oh, look at the doggo. Any of the gates here, when you get into Cyrodiil, they'll have a siege merchant. You just go find them. Usually they'll have a market balance icon around them. So this one here. Just open it up, and we want to grab Cyrodiil repair kits, these on here. So buy 2 of these, that's all you need. So it's 180 gold. I should point out, if you need gold for any of the stuff here, I've got a video in the description for that. It's just an early game gold guide. Let's just go to Fort Rails here. Let's see if there's anything that needs to be repaired. Hey everyone, Future Me here. Sorry, just got a butt in here. I realized I forgot to talk about one thing in regards to repairing, probably one of the most important things to look for. If you want to know if there is something that needs to be repaired at a wall, just at a glance, look for these things here. There's like crane tools holding cut stone. They're only here if the wall is not fully at full health. So anytime you see this, you're in luck, because that means there is a wall that you can actually repair. Put your repair kits on your quick slot. Walk over to the wall that needs to be repaired. You'll see the health bars at the top. You just, if that's on your screen, like if you can see the health bar, you could probably use a repair kit on it. And that's it. So now we can just go back inside. And now we can leave Cyrodiil. So just head here, back to the Transitor Shrine, back to one of the gates, and now we're back out. And then you just travel to the Way Shrine, just go there, and then that's your way out. So you just use this like any other Way Shrine. And then out we go. So yeah, if you see a campaign like this, probably a good idea to just go somewhere else instead. Because yeah, the more keeps you have, the better chances you'll have of finding one that needs to be repaired. Sometimes you'll get to a campaign and just everything will be fully repaired. It's just, sometimes Cyrodiil just, there's no action for a while. It tends to be when a keep is taken, and then the resources are taken, like the health bars of the walls will just drop for a little bit, or the health will increase, but it won't heal them the full amount, and then you can repair them, stuff like that. It's just, it's an ever-changing world, and you won't be able to just do this all the time. So yeah, just make sure you check all the campaigns for that reason. And if you have a different character on all 3 alliances above level 10, just check them out each. You don't need to fight. Any fighting in Cyrodiil for doing this endeavor, it just wastes your time. So yeah, just try to find places where you can just repair them, and then that's it. As I said, just most of the time will be taken just fucking trying to find a space. Alright, so just having a look at the golden vendor now. We've got 2 shoulders, we've got pirate skeleton and Shadowrend. You know how I feel about shoulders. I never think they're worth it, because you can just go and spend keys on all the shoulders in the game, regardless of the DLCs you own and all that stuff. And yeah, you're just not barred by like difficulty of anything. You know, you can eventually get keys very easily just doing normal dungeons, as opposed to the helms, which are another story. That being said, I'll just talk about these 2 sets, because they're quite old and there's quite some history with them. Not so much as Shadowrend, I suppose, but definitely Pirate Skeleton. This one here, it was used a lot in PvP in the early stages. I remember there was a Alcast build with a Templar healer with reactive armor and I think Black Rose, or Transmutation, one of those 2. And it was, I remember using it for a little bit, and it was just such a nightmare for people to deal with. Like, I just have like 10 people on me, I could just heal through anything. Very old times. I doubt I could do that kind of shit anymore, but yeah. This set has been nerfed to the shit, mainly because Major Protection it used to be a much better buff. It's only 10% now. I think it used to be like 30% damage reduction. And yeah, because of that, and because it's become easier to get this buff through other means, mainly through skills, and because the buff is just so much shittier than it used to be, it's just not really worth running the set anymore compared to some other sets which can get you much more ability or much more power in Cyrodiil, especially things like Belorg. It's just much easier to get killed even with these sorts of buffs now. But yeah, Pirate Skeleton, very powerful set in its day, but yeah, it's just a shadow of its former self. Shadowrend, on the other hand, again, very old, and back in the day would have been okay for tanks because there wouldn't have been many monster sets back then. I mean, this did come out later, but the main problem with this is it scales off your max health, and it's minor maim that it gives you otherwise. Minor maim is just one of the easiest debuffs to apply to enemies. There are skills that just keep it up all the time. And in any situation, having a skill to give you a debuff or a buff is going to be far better value for you per slot than running a whole set just to get the same thing. And the thing about tanks is, right, you can run a tank with a lot of health to get some damage out of this, but all the other damage in the game is based on your max magicka, max stamina, your weapon and spell damage. And in that case, you're putting all your eggs into this single small basket. You're not really going to get much out of it. Whereas putting all the eggs in like a different basket is going to get you much better value there. And even then, tanks aren't meant to deal damage. Their sole purpose in this game, basically, in group play, is just debuff the shit out of bosses to make the damage dealers do more damage. They are the ones who are going to be giving you your damage. You don't really need to worry about it. You just focus on getting them the best possible stats to deal damage as possible. So Shadowrend, not really something I'd recommend. Like early on, no, and now definitely not. Alright, Calurian's Legacy, also a set with quite a history. Back in the so this is a Fanglair jewelry set. It's the light armor set, I believe. And this, when it came out, it had double the cooldown. I think it was, I don't know if it was 10 seconds or if it was longer, but I do remember it being longer. And the damage it used to deal was upwards of like 10 or 12,000, maybe even higher than that. So Nightblade gankers used to use this set, and it just used to be absolute fucking hell on earth. Because it's just like running Viper back when that was just an absolute nightmare to deal with, and like Red Mountain and shit like that. Just like, because Nightblade's right. So it's critical light attack or heavy attack damage. In Shadow, with Shadowy Disguise, your next direct damage attack will critically strike. So if you cast this and then light attack, it immediately applies that effect. So when it dealt way more damage, you would get blown to fucking smithereens when someone hit you with this. But nowadays, it's been nerfed to the shithouse. It definitely doesn't deal anywhere near as much damage as it used to. It still packs a punch, but there's much better sets for just like bursting the shit out of someone down, especially now with that, I think it's Slivers of the Null Archer that everyone uses nowadays. Yeah, this one here is, I think, it basically just replaced it. But yeah, it's okay as a PvE damage dealer set because you get critical chance and weapon and spell damage, which are the 2 to 4 piece buffs that you want at any time. But one, it's light armor. Medium armor is like the go-to for any like meta builds, and Fanglair is a fucking long dungeon. And considering that you can basically get crafted sets with the same performance as this, and it's only single target, that's another issue. Because I don't know if it applies only to one, like if it has a separate cooldown for each target, but I don't think it does. But yeah, so wouldn't really use this set anymore, just because for how fucking annoying it is to do Fanglair, it just takes so long. Because yeah, you do have to do Fanglair at some point to get the weapons, because you could buy the Calurian's Legacy jewelry, but you're not going to have the weapons. You have to do the dungeon for the weapons or the armor, because having 3 pieces of the set's not going to work. Same with all the other. That's why I don't really recommend any of the dungeon sets here, just because you have to buy the DLC anyway. But yeah, if you do want the gold jewelry, it's there. Sword Dancer buffs the shit out of your weapon and spell damage for dual wield. Only dual wield. I do believe it affects the light and heavy attacks, but you have here's the thing, right? You've got 10 normal skills, 2 ultimates. Dual wield has in total 7 skills, and yes, they all do damage, but like even then, some of them perform the same roles as other ones. So realistically, you're only gonna have max maybe 4 skills, or 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, basically, or 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the point. So you're pretty much halving. You're putting all your damage bonuses into half your build, and in PvE, that is not going to be a very good thing to do, because a lot of the rest of your damage is other stuff, including status effects, which won't be impacted by this, proc sets, which won't be impacted by this. So you don't really want to be, again, don't want to be putting all your eggs in the same basket when that basket is too small for making sure all these people are fed, right? So I wouldn't really use this anymore. But, you know, and at the same time, it's so fucking easy to get this set, because this comes from, it's from, Sword Dancer. It's from Blessed Crucible. Again, you have to go into a dungeon to collect this whole set. It takes ages getting the full thing collected, when you could just run Order's Wrath and Tideborn and basically just get the same thing, but for all your abilities. So just, yeah, my advice, do not run this. It's not worth the effort. But yeah, if you want to roleplay like a Red Guard just using dual wield, it's pretty good. But spending 200,000 gold for that much roleplay, nah, wouldn't do that. Sistress, is it Sistress or Sistress? I don't know. Bashing people. I haven't used this myself, but it's a very weird set. So you can do it once a second. So you light attack and bash, and it applies a bunch of damage. But max stamina, max health, and what kind of it's a heavy set too. So yeah, I guess you could use light attack and the bash skill and do a bit of damage. But this has basically got the same problem as Shadowrend, right? This is a tanking set. Well, it's a set with heavy armor and designed for tanks, when tanks aren't supposed to be dealing damage. They're supposed to be buffing your team. The only interesting thing is it's frost damage, so you'd apply chilled. If you use this with an ice staff, it is another source of frost damage that you could use to apply chilled, but you can apply chilled with frost clench anyway. And if you really want to get like that kind of thing going, you've got Serpent's Disdain, which causes this one here causes chill to stay on the target for like 20 seconds. So, and this is crafted, so you don't need to go out and farm it or buy it. You just craft it. This set, I don't think it functions very well in this day and age. Like, there are bash builds. I just don't think it's worth it myself. I just like that much damage every second is not really going to get you anywhere, because in PvE, tanks like running this kind of thing or running heavy armor. Heavy armor is like always a detriment to running like two damage sets. The only like exception to that rule is the Advancing Akita set, but that's because it gives you so much crit and impacts all your damage that it's just so good. But yeah, this here is just, it's compromising in ways that you don't want to be doing for its roles. Either use debuff sets or just run sets that buff all your damage, or just have proc sets that deal a whole much more amount of damage, I think. Vivek's Amulet of Duality. I swear I see this so fucking often here. Very odd set. The problem I have with this one is, one, it's Magicka and Stamina. So it's kind of built for PvP, I find, with those stats, because you're not really going to be making much use of those. Actually, no, it might be okay as a tank, because you probably could spend 15 seconds on your bar as a tank and just like easy content, and it'd be a pretty good way to get some resources back. That's the only situation I would use this for, because high-end tanks, you don't really want to be staying on the same bar for 15 seconds. You want to be going over the other bar and using your debuffs and stuff, because those tend to be less than 15 seconds of like buffs and debuffs. Same thing for damage dealers. Yes, most weapon skills have a variation that lasts 15 seconds, like you got Endless Hail here, but there's always like a class weapon or ground targeted AoE that lasts less than 15 seconds. Things like that are really not going to be something that you can just like reapply when the 15 seconds is up and get efficiency for it. Same thing with this, like it's longer than the cooldown, but if you try and get the most out of those 15 seconds and get the resources back every 15 seconds, you're just going to be trying to reapply buffs, and they're just going to be down for so long. Whereas there's just like other ways to restore resources easy. And in group play, where it's probably like most important, your support roles, your healers, and to an extent your tanks, are going to be providing you with all sorts of ways to restore your resources anyway. So yeah, Vivek's Duality, the only situation I think this is worth trying is if you're a tank just trying to basically no brain like an easy trial, and you just don't want to think about anything. It'd be pretty good for that, but other than that, I really wouldn't bother with this, because in PvP you cannot be staying on the same bar for 15 seconds. Like, you could stay on your defensive bar the whole time, but you want to be swapping over to your offensive bar, staying on that bar for like only a couple of seconds, and once all your damage buffs go away, you just go back to your defensive bar. Just basically your buffs in general. You just want to swap back to your defensive bar and just make sure you stay healthy. And yeah, 15 seconds is just too long to be able to benefit from something like that. Alright, that's everything for the Golden Vendor. That will be everything for the dailies. Yeah, I'll leave it there. So, any questions, you know the drill, just give me a holler. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. See you for the next one. Have a good one.